Good evening, Commission. This is Manny. Just letting you know that I'll be running your meeting remotely tonight from the chambers. Thank you. Good evening, Sister City Commission. This is Manny. Just chiming in to let you know that I'll be communicating and running your guys' meeting remotely this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'd like to call the June 16th, 2025 meeting of the Vallejo Sister City Commission to order at 5:33. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh. Oh, okay.
Well, we can pretend, right? We can go next door and you can go on.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to assume a flag is here somewhere.
There it is, right there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Manny. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And now, if you would please recite with me the thank you to the native tribes. It's on your agenda if you don't have it, if it doesn't show up. We pause to commemorate the Native American tribes upon whose land our city was built. The Patwin tribes, the Coastal Miwoks, the Susunis, and the Karkins. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Chair Shanks Stewart,
Here.
Vice Chair Lamb,
Present.
Commissioner Andreas, Commissioner Ligda.
Here.
Commissioner Rubio Machado. Commissioner Placido. Commissioner Stewart. We have 6 present and 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Number 5, communications. A is report from the executive assistant to the mayor, secretary to the commission.
Good evening, commissioners. First up on my secretary's report is that we have ordered pins in conjunction with the city manager's office. And they put in an order, or we have a partial order for 50 pins, and that will be taken from our sister city commission budget. I have a sample pin. It is similar to the ones that we have used before, and I can pass that around.
Chair, you want to save the questions to the end, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we have Commissioner Rubio Machado. We now have 7 commissioners present. Thank you. Other item on my secretary's report is that we paid our sister city international dues. The check was made out to $1,030 to be paid to Sister City International. That is all I have on my secretary's report.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, I had a question.
Did you have a question?
Yes.
Yes,
For the pins, do we get a dollar amount?
I didn't hear you. Can you
Dollar
talk
amount
with
for
me?
the 50 pins?
Do you have your,
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was $250 because they made us very small order. The rest of the pins were supposed to be going to the graduates of. Yeah. Did everybody hear that? Of the Citizens Academy. Altogether, there were 150 pins ordered, and we get 50 of them. So in the future, since we will probably be making larger orders, it will not be as high of a cost per pin. Yes.
It's kind of too loud, I think. Yeah, my question is why is so limited, and also why is why so limited this you just gave us, and the cost I'm trying to rephrase my question. What's the reason for this, and plus why the money is coming out from the budget, since it's a city ordered, right?
The
I don't know.
At the last meeting, we had discussed going in on the pins with the city manager's office with the communications team. They'd already placed an order, and they would have retained all of the pins. And so in order for us to get 50 of the pins and use a portion of this year's budget, that was essentially the deal that we struck with the city manager's office, is that we can have 50 pins for a portion of the cost. So for the future, if we were going to order pins, we would order a larger quantity, which would drive down the per pin cost. But since it was on short notice and they'd already ordered the pins, we didn't have an opportunity to say, okay, we want more pins. So that's essentially where we are now. Because we're trying to use some of our budget on pins, and that's where we are, if that makes sense.
are there any other questions on the report from the executive assistant?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
this question is actually to the vice chair, related to cost of pins. What was the cost of the pin for the, school? Do you know, per pin?
Well, the total was $450 for 110 pins.
It was 450 divided by 110, correct?
Mhm.
$4 advice. So just over $4. But we're paying $5 for these, so we understand the circumstances. So it was close.
Through the chair, it also has to do with a different vendor.
It was close.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get an economy of scale the next time we order anything, so it won't be so high.
Are there any other questions? Okay, if not, we appreciate that report. We'll move on to report from council liaison to the Vallejo Sister City Commission. I do not see her here. So if she comes in, we'll give her an opportunity to give a report at that time. Report from the chair. Take one, pass it on. I don't know if I gave you enough, but anyway. So part of my report overlaps, as you might expect. But currently, we are awaiting information on the 2025 budget decisions that the city council is making. I'm sure many of you are keeping track with the deliberations that they're having on the budget. Well, I know I am, so I'm hoping that you are too, since we do have, so to speak, some skin in the game. My next is, we need to request a meeting agenda time with the city, and it might be in the fall. I don't know, because I know they'll soon be going on hiatus, like August, I think is when they stop meeting. And so we need to make sure that we share with them when we have a trip. And so what I'm going to do is try to arrange, as soon as we know there's going to be a trip, we'll make a request for, maybe a week or two after that for a report to go to city council. They need to be cognizant of what's going on in terms of the trips. And this one was in February, so we want to do that. The next item is that we had a request from Ghana on becoming a sister city. Also, there was a gentleman who requested the same for China. And in speaking with both groups, it seems that they did not have a committee on their side that, or our side, either one, in place that could begin the trip for Friendship City. So I believe we shared that with them already. And so if any of you end up speaking with either the person from, he wasn't from China, but he inquired about China and Ghana, we got a letter, I think. But as you know, we spent a good amount of time last year putting the guidelines in place for both friendship status and sister city status. And right now, they did not qualify. So did you want-
Through the chair. On the new business, I have the request from Ghana
Okay.
for consideration,
What do you mean by considerations?
so that everybody gets to see
Okay,
what was sent to us. It
All right.
Should be, it's a part of your packet. The
All right.
email is in there.
okay. My next item was the same as what was just reported, that we will collaborate with the city. And we will do that going forward so that the price will be down as far as it can be. And then my last point is that there are quite a few very, very informative roundtables and webinars that come on the email to us from Sister City International. All we have to do is register. It costs us nothing but our time. And I think we'd be able to get a lot of information that may be helpful for us in the future if we participate in some of those. So if you have not signed up to get emails from Sister City International, I'd like to ask that all of us do that. That ends my report. Yours in peace. Any questions?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
two questions.
Yes.
On the first, regarding the budget, I believe we had, or the original arrangement was that the budget would roughly be the same, we hope,
Mhm.
as last year.
Mhm.
Are we required to submit another budget? In other words, go through the same process we did last year to create?
We
a
followed the
budget
process
and
already.
submit
I think you reported that. We already followed that process.
Okay, so you basically submitted the same exact budget
We
that
did.
used last year.
We did.
Thanks for clarifying. Second one is, on Ghana and China. You mentioned, Madam Chair, that neither qualified. Can you elaborate on why they did not
Okay.
qualify?
If you will remember, last year we spent a good amount of time trying to get the guidelines in place that would qualify a new city
Mhm.
in a new country to qualify. You must have a committee on each side that's interested. You must, because if you don't, it'll fall dead. So the committee has very strict guidelines of what they should be doing in our report that we put together. And the one here in Vallejo would have the same thing. We don't have either one for either one of these right now. Yes, question? I see your hand, yes.
I had a couple. First, we mentioned Ghana and China, but we didn't name, bless you, we didn't name the cities. Do we have the names of the cities in Ghana and China?
I don't have the names of the cities right in front of me, but it's coming up again in new business. Maybe it's there. But at the time, when it was being discussed, and I asked the question specifically, and they didn't have it. So, I mean, we'll be happy to share the names with you, but they don't qualify based on the guidelines we set up last year.
And it just, the point of information,
Okay,
when we're talking about these things, there are several groups of people from Ghana that have expressed an interest in helping. When we reached that point, I had no idea we were at this. And as of this moment, I still can't name the cities in either place. The group in China, as many of you know, we had a delegation came of artists, came and left a beautiful piece of art that we put on display. I don't remember the name of it, but I know we have it in our archives of the name of the actual city, and that might be able to network with that group of artists, because just FYI, the reason we chose Bagamoyo, Tanzania is because a group of artists from Bagamoyo, Tanzania came here, and a group of artists from here went there, and that's what started it. So
I know that history, but I'm saying these people did not do that. That's
understand.
all I'm saying.
I'm just saying you're correct, but what the organizing committee could be and has been in the past was, an example was Bagamoyo was a group of artists, and then they added whatever was necessary to move it forward. That's all.
I do recall the artists who came from China. They didn't request any additional movement in the direction of being anything except, where they wanted us to meet them, which we did. They wanted us, to serve refreshments and all that, which we did, which we always do anytime the request comes to us, whether it's a sister city or not. And we will continue to do that. But to my knowledge, they didn't ask to go any further than that. So I didn't seek them out.
What, through the chair.
Go ahead.
Mr. Good. Pastor Check was the member of the
I remember.
commission that made the contact.
I remember.
And I met with he and a member of their regional, it wasn't city, it was like a county level government who was going to continue to pursue it. Pastor Check got sick, and the gentleman that was assisting us never continued it. But there was some people at the government level that was involved as a result of what Rick did.
I know you're telling the truth. However, if they don't follow through, okay, yes, but I mean, that was years ago, and so, yeah, all right.
Through the chair.
Yes, I
Can-
think I saw, do you have one for?
Well, I was just going to comment, if we want to continue this conversation about Ghana and exploration of committees and whatever, we have a perfectly good place on the agenda in new business.
Okay.
So we can probably entertain a lot of this at that point.
All right, was yours on the same?
In the
Commissioner-
same background, just a little bit different. Madam Chair, first and foremost, I have had still have relationship with Ghana for 38 years.
I didn't hear what you said. Go ahead.
My wife, I have a relationship with country of Ghana for the last 38 years. My wife is from Ghana, 38 years. Of course, my kids are Ghanaian as well. And the city that you mentioned in Ghana, there are by the Cape Coast and then Takoradi and the Kumasi area. I can bring you the list. The small cities that comparison with Vallejo. So I can give you more information if you guys. In fact, I have business there also. The committee you mentioned in terms of the qualification, is the committee here Ghanaians or up in Ghana? Are we talking about?
Both.
Oh, both? Okay. Okay. And the last question is, the gentleman that came to the conference, is he a government official or is he just a regular citizen? Do we have a contact information?
You mean about Ghana?
Yeah, regarding
Okay,
this gentleman
as-
who's interested in.
Okay, as was said, there's a place in our agenda that's going to directly address this, and we
Okay,
can talk more
perfect.
about it then.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Commissioner,
O-
Commissioner Placido.
Okay, number 2, in regards to the last trip to Baguio City, Philippines.
Yes,
Now that Dinah Villanueva Ryan is back, and I spoke to her, she said that why don't we do it last week of June? So I don't know if there's a meeting last week of June for the city of Vallejo.
okay, usually we need a good amount of lead time in order
so
to
maybe-
get on the agenda for the city. They have
Ye-
been really packed. I
Yeah.
don't know whether y'all have been paying attention or not, but the city agendas have been really, really packed. They've been going to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know that.
So
So
I would say we have to give a lot of
a
lead
lot of
time.
time. Okay,
That's
I
just
will
me.
inform that to Dinah because Dinah is the chair for this Baguio City. And also Rochelle, I'm gonna ask her to do the PowerPoint for this, so everything will be intact and a good presentation on the city council meeting. So
Well,
we
we'll have
make
to,
sure
we'll have
that
to
we
find out
will-
when they're available to include us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Through
yes.
the chair, if you make the request in writing, what
Okay.
it is you want to do and an idea of when you want to do it, then I can submit that to the city manager and the mayor. They have an agenda setting meeting. So we can work through that way.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
So would we need to submit more than just the minutes from tonight's meeting for that? Would that qualify?
You can make the request through me.
Oh, okay, very good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was asking if we make the request tonight through these minutes, then it would be in writing. That's what I
Are
was
we?
asking.
No,
No,
I would like to get
separate.
an actual email
Yeah,
from the
okay.
people requesting and
Gotcha.
what it is you want.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
So did you hear that, Commissioner Placido?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Did you have another one, Commissioner Andres?
No,
oh,
sorry.
okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to move on to community forum. If there's anyone who would like to address us.
I'm going to ask Manny if you can hear me to start a 2-minute timer, if you have that.
Thank you, Secretary Zarb. I currently do not have the ability to display that 2-minute timer, but I will keep track of it. on my end. If anybody signs up remotely for the community forum, I'll be sure to let you know. But currently, we do not have any speakers unless there's anybody in person who would like to speak during this time.
I don't see anybody here, but I'm going to read the announcement so we can wait for our 2 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone wishing to address the commission on any matter for which another opportunity to speak is not provided on the agenda and which is within the jurisdiction of the commission to resolve is requested to submit a completed speaker card to the commission secretary. When called upon, each speaker should step to the podium, state his or her name, and address for the record. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes pursuant to Vallejo Municipal Code, Section 2.20.300.
Madam Chair.
We don't see anybody
Ma-
online or in person.
Madam Chair, I don't know if there's a place on the agenda that would allow me to address the issue of our hosting the Northern California Sister Cities a few weeks ago. I wanted to mention something related to that that needs to be addressed. Find a place later in the agenda, it's fine with me.
It's not on the agenda. I would say that, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me just double check.
Through the chair, just wanted to inform you the timer has concluded. No speakers at this time.
It's not on our agenda, so we are not legally able to discuss it this evening. But we can put it for a future agenda item if you would like. Okay, number 7, consent calendar and approval of agenda. A, approval of minutes and agenda. We need to approve the agenda for June 16th, 2025, and the minutes of April 21st, 2025. And we can probably do those together. Could I get a motion?
I move, okay.
I second.
Well, she didn't say yet.
No, I didn't say yet.
Oh, I just,
I move that the approval of minutes and agenda for June 16, 2025 and April 21, 2025 be approved as presented.
Okay, second?
I motion.
Second? Is it second?
I second, yes.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes of April 21st, 2025, and tonight's agenda of June 16th, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no.
No,
Any abstentions?
there.
Are you abstaining, Commissioner Legda?
I'm just abstaining because I was not at the meeting.
Okay, all right.
As well.
Okay.
It,
It moves. Did you have a chance to read it if you wanted to? Or you didn't have a chance? Okay. All right, it still passes.
That's five ayes and 2
Two.
abstentions.
Yes. Thank you. Number 8, old business. Report from Commissioner Lamb on the Youth Subcommittee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're delighted to have our youth representative, Mr. Fernando Borrello, here tonight to give an update on the youth subcommittee activities, and then I will follow up with an additional report.
You may need to turn on whichever microphone he will be using, either at the podium or at this front table. And Veronica, if you need a microphone, feel free to grab one of the microphones on the table.
Turn on. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Fernando Borrallo. I am one of the student liaisons for the Vallejo Sister City Commission Youth Subcommittee. In the past month, we met. So far, we have about 7 members. They are all members from Jesse Bethel High School. In the last month's meeting, we discussed that we will participate in July 4th's parade to promote more involvement from the youth to the city. We chose our pen pals, so there were options for countries, and then certain members of our subcommittee chose who to be pen pals with. We are currently in the search for an activity that we would be able to participate in constantly, a community service activity that will be able to help the community. Currently, that is, I don't think we really have any specific yet, but we will find something if that is the decision of our subcommittee, sorry. We were also planning on having something like a gallery walk with different countries with different countries representatives displaying clothes from their native countries. So let's say that there is someone that wants to represent Vietnam or someone that wants to represent Korea, then they could design something or just wear something to that gallery walk, so then they could be representing their own country. And it wouldn't have to be something that they should pay for, or something that would be so hard to get into, because it would just be something for the community. Another idea that we had was to have an event like the previous one, something where someone that wants to represent their country brings something in, but instead of clothing, it would be with food, and that would be for around the Thanksgiving date. So is it. That should be it for the report. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for Fernando?
Thank you so much for coming. Can you tell me again when your committee meets at Jesse Bethel?
We do not meet at Jesse Bethel, but we do have an upcoming meeting this Thursday. Excuse me. This Thursday from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Where's the meeting gonna be?
It's likely going to be in the Sister City room
Oh.
or online.
Okay,
And we meet monthly typically.
all right, thank you.
Yes.
Ed, to the chair,
Yes.
I had a couple questions for you. We've talked about the Filmogram International Science Fair and the drones that we purchased, and the project that that group is pursuing for this year is to take a photo of a group of people, adults and kids, whoever, many as we can get, forming the letters I and D. That's our I Don't Do Drugs Positive Peer Pressure Program. I don't know if that was ever presented to the group. I apologize, Paul. I should have twisted your arm and let you get me in there to talk to the kids since you're meeting right here. But it is a project that the Filmogram International Science Fair is doing. We've done it as a joint venture with a local foundation that purchased the drones that we sent around the world, in addition to what we did, the Sister City Association. We'd love to make a presentation to you and see if it's something the youngsters would be interested.
Thank you very much. I think we would definitely be interested, and we would like to know more about that.
And Commissioner Stewart, maybe we can talk offline to coordinate a presentation to our subcommittee. Go ahead. No. Questions?
I just have a question, Madam Chair. How many members are in the group? Seven. Seven. If there is any strategy bringing more students?
Microphone.
Microphone.
Oh, my micro, sorry. I know you say you have 7 members. If there is any strategy or for more recruitment to get involved in this endeavor?
This for probably the past school semester, we focused to recruit more people, and the way that we were able to recruit more people, the most effective was talking to people personally, um people that we seemed people that we thought that would be interested in this program. So since now we have about probably 5 kids that would still be in Jesse Bethel High School, we will ask them if they could recruit more people that seem interested in this program. But still, we would continue to post it on the morning announcements for Jesse Bethel High School, which is announcements for the whole high school. And also there's a copy of that sent to all the parents of students at Jesse Bethel High School. Another idea was having Instagram. I know we made an account, but even though it's not an official account or anything, we have yet to post any of our activities or any of our information, which we would possibly be able to work towards this year. You're welcome. Yes.
Question on the students are from JC Bethel or different schools?
So far they are only from Jesse Bethel High School. We're going to have 2 members from Vallejo High School, but they were unfortunately not able to join. We would like to extend the invitation to all of the high schools in not sorry, to all of the high schools in Vallejo. But that would be something that we work on.
I think that's a good idea to reach out the other high school.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
thank you. Any other questions?
And just a quick follow-up on that. I mean, I think a lot of the activities that the group is talking about are designed specifically to get the word out to a broader audience of youth throughout the city, not just to Jesse Bethel High School. For example, Fernando had talked about the July 4th parade, maybe marching with the Sister City Association and the commission in the parade, handing out information, that sort of thing. But bottom line, the goal is to get as many youth involved as possible from all over the city.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
great.
Before I add one other item, I wanted to congratulate Fernando. He just recently graduated from Jesse Bethel High School.
Wow.
Just last month. And Fernando, where are you going?
I am going to UC Davis to major in pharmaceutical chemistry.
Congratulations.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Alright.
since there is no further questions, I will now sit down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fernando. Last thing on the youth subcommittee or youth activities for the commission. As you all know, we completed our first year of the Sister School program with Baguio City National High School. And I passed out some pins that we had made and T-shirts to commemorate this year's group. Hopefully next year we'll also be expanding into other schools with more sister school programs, and keep you updated on that as we figure out our strategy moving forward. And that's all I had.
Through the chair. I just wanted to add one more thing, and it was just to wrap this up in terms of what we charge for the T-shirts and pins and the shipping. So there was a total of $763.21 for T-shirts and pins, plus $85 for shipping, and that was shipped out from the city of Vallejo on May 30th.
So do you have a picture on your phone or something we can see the shirt?
No. No, I'd be happy to send around a picture of the T-shirt to the commission.
I think that was part of our agenda last time with photos of the shirts. The last meeting.
Yeah, he showed them to us.
I will send the T-shirt around via email to the commission. Thank you.
Want to bring the physical T-shirt?
They're all gone, yeah.
Well, once again, I appreciate the fact that this is actually happening, because it is an area that we discussed for many years and wanted to make happen and could not somehow make that happen. So thank you again to your committee, the youth subcommittee. We really appreciate it. We want you to replace yourself, Hernandez, so that, someone else will take your spot. We don't want it to fall off. And good luck in UC Davis. Okay. Okay, B is report from the entry sign subcommittee, and that is Commissioner Ligda.
The last I have on that is that, you recall, was not said, drawing signs I made, that I suggested for the entry signs, and we were gonna have someone else do that, a better job. And I never received that. I think you
Yes, you
did.
did. Yes, I did.
But I never received it. I never downloaded.
You responded to it. Okay, well, you did respond to it. All right.
Commissioner Ligda, if you can have your mic on, please. Thank you.
Thought I put it on mute. Did you hear me?
I did, but
Okay.
probably the,
We'll take care of it.
yes,
Money cannot cheer.
I will send it again.
Okay.
All right, C, receive status report relating to the Japanese garden and next steps to determine placement of the restored Anagawa. Do we say that? Referral to the Commission on Culture and the Arts for a recommendation on placement, including indoors or outdoors, and authorize a sister city commissioner to speak on behalf of the Sister City Commission at the Culture and Arts meeting. And there's a recommendation here that we need to respond to.
All right, I will speak to this point.
Thank you.
I hope most of you recall that Rick Wyrick has been working with members of this commission and Public Works and me to bring the Japanese garden back to life. And currently, Public Works is working on a CAD drawing with Rick so that we have something to present to the Commission on Culture and the Arts. And I'll back that up a little bit. I had a conversation with the city manager about making a decision as to where the restored Onagawara would go. And he said that that decision, because this is essentially a piece of public art, would need to go to the Commission on Culture and the Arts. So that will go to the Commission on Culture and the Arts in July. I've contacted their staff secretary, and that's going to be on the agenda. In the meantime, Commissioner Stewart and I are working on creating a report to describe the situation and what the recommendation is, and putting that all together with the CAD drawing so that the Commission on Culture and the Arts can make a decision. And if Commissioner Stewart is to speak on behalf of this commission would need to authorize that speaking.
Thank you for that addition. I move that we authorize Commissioner Pelton Stewart to speak on behalf of the commission to the Commission on Culture and the Arts regarding the placement and recommendation for the Onagawa.
I second it.
Can you take it through since I moved? Can you take the motion through? Can you take the motion through since I moved it?
For,
We have it seconded.
I
we did.
seconded for that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right then, Commissioner Stewart, you and I have business to attend to.
And thank you for doing that, both of you. Number 9, new business. A, discuss the status of current sister cities relationships. If any next steps, provide direction. So, this is actually not Ghana yet. Ghana is C. And, so this would be other, any current sister city relationships, the status of, and next steps. Anyone have anything to report for that part?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have several. I guess I'll start with Rhoda and the Northern Mariana Islands, and that's a friendship city and a relationship there. I was finally able to get through to the new mayor, and she committed to meeting with, through Zoom or conference call. I asked that they meet with the two chairs of the chair of the association and or president of the association, chair of the commission. And if I'm available, I'd love to assist in that. But they were willing to meet with us. I told them we'll be meeting, both groups will be meeting this week. We'll come up with a couple tentative dates. We had to take the time change variable into consideration and put it in front of the mayor's administrative assistant to see what works for her. That's all I have on Rhoda. On Afghanistan, I met with Dr. Zamani.
Commissioner Stewart,
Yes, sir.
we do have a place, in section 10B for the Friendship City reports.
Okay.
So are there any other, relationships that need to be discussed, in terms of next steps?
I guess the only one I'd put in that category that it hasn't been put in a lot of detail on is a township right on the outskirts of Lagos in Nigeria. They call it King of that group is Chief Okochi, whose son is my primary care provider at Kaiser. And he's going back in November. And I asked him if it was possible for us to send a letter if we don't bring a delegation the following November to visit and start to pursue a friendship relationship with that community in Nigeria. That's all I have.
Through the chair, this item is about the current sister cities. This isn't about any new proposed ones. It's just that we had mentioned at the last meeting about, for lack of a better way to describe it, the dormancy of some of our current relationships and how we would like to proceed on either pursuing them or potentially putting them to emeritus status or whatever the direction of this commission would be.
Well, I would think that that would come up when we discuss that actual sister city or friendship city, that could be discussed at that point. That's just the way I see it. If these are current, they're all current right now. So if someone has something else to add, I would think we could discuss it then, just it is on the agenda. Is that okay with everybody else? Okay, thank you. Then we'll move to B, discuss whether more frequent commission meetings are warranted and provide direction. And I believe.
Yes, Madam Chair. The reason for that was for us to be more effective. It's not that we're not effective now, but to have more proactive role in this relationship with these cities and town and whatnot, so that way that we can be more effective. However, if one person, for instance, if I didn't make the meeting this time, yeah, it will take a couple months to get back for another commissioner meeting. So it's kind of too long of a gap. So if we could, I'm available to, every month. If that could happen, then we can be more effective in getting things done. That's my,
So when you say more effective, can you be a little more specific on that?
okay, more effective meaning it's not that we're not effective now, but we can be more effective the more we meet. We could develop more agenda, more interactive with, yeah, with us or with whoever relationship we have to for contact or for other things. Uh, Frequent meeting produce more involvement, isn't it? I mean, we meet in every 2 months now. For me, many things, but one of the things is if I miss this meeting, for instance, it would take me a couple months to get back to this meeting. So I'll be behind in terms of the updates.
Okay, not
Uh,
really. If you read the minutes, we send out minutes and we send out, other information in between.
But I want to have,
So if you wanted to, I mean, there's ways to stay current if you want to. And this is just me talking.
I just like to
I
come.
try to make sure if I have to miss a meeting, that I make sure that I read everything that's sent from the office so that I can try to stay up. And we can always ask for updates. We can always suggest additional agenda items to go on the agenda. We are allowed to do that. And so in terms of being effective, I'm not quite sure what you would want us to do in between. That's all I was asking for.
Yeah, I probably use the wrong word. But what I'm trying to say is, I personally like to attend meetings, which I do. Which I do. You know why? Because I have plenty of time. I mean, I travel a lot, I do a lot of things. So all this minute reading is okay, but I like to see faces. I like to have discussion with people. I have to have listen to what other people are saying so I can make an informative decision. Um, so if you agree with me, if we don't, that's okay too.
Well, I mean, I would like to hear from other members.
Sure.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
what I hear Commissioner Andrea saying is that could we do more if we met more? And
Thank
hence,
you.
could we
That's
be
what
more,
I need.
more effective
Yeah,
as a result
Take that thing out, effectiveness, but more.
Yeah.
We do more.
and have more impact? Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I would, second your comment, Madam Chair. If we have very specific things that we want to accomplish that require more time, absolutely. I would be willing to meet more often than once every other a month. Question though, for the city attorney, are there specific requirements or restrictions when it comes to how often that the commission meets?
Like, there's a couple of things. One, so there's practical problems and problems is probably a strong word. There are practical issues to be considered as well as how you would go about it. So right now, I don't have your municipal code in front of us. It doesn't say one way or the other. Okay, well, I don't have it in front of me. I'd have to look at that, whether it would have to change as a result of wanting to do more frequent meetings. Staff generally suggests that if a commission wants to have more frequent meetings and has things to put on those more frequent meetings, that it's much easier to call a special meeting than it is to bind a regular meeting schedule that meets more often, where you don't actually have business to put on the meeting and then you're canceling a regular meeting. It's just more cumbersome to do that than it would be to schedule a special meeting. If you have items that you want to bring up in between your regular meetings, say, in that off, we'll call it the off month, for lack of a better word. You have done that. The other thing for consideration is meeting space is pretty tight. So when you do find usually a special meeting, Eric reaches out to the city clerk and tries to find a date where there's some place for you to actually convene and have staff present and in order to do that. So It's very doable if there's space. If there's not space, and we have a lot of competing interests for space, as you know. Even right now, Manny is at another meeting while listening to us and helping us along kind of in the background. So you can see that we've got two city facilitated meetings occurring at the same time on the same night, with staff bifurcating between the two. So there does become that. That's just a practical issue, and one that, you know, Eric could talk to Don about. But maybe what you want to do is, through your staff, work on whether or not you have items to put on, see what special meetings look like. Can you convene them? Is there the availability to do it? Like as a trial, as opposed to just saying, well, we want to have a monthly meeting. If you don't have items to put on it, it seems like inverted to the need or the desire, but that's up to the commission if you want to ask.
Thanks for.
Was there somebody else?
And I have.
Oh, sorry,
Could I-
sorry.
It's two down here.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
yeah. For me,
Wait, no,
Oh,
not-
oh,
Let me just finish up, sorry. Thank you for clarifying that. And to me, it makes sense to, you know, if we have important issues that we need to discuss in the interim, we can call a special meeting. And that should be, you know, sort of at the commission's pleasure. I personally don't feel like we need to add a meeting unless there's a really important reason, a good reason to add, to have, you know, more frequent meetings, but that's just my opinion.
And we have the, yes, Commissioner Lasta.
okay. For me, I recommend that we don't need to change the schedule of our meeting, since we received the minutes. And if we have some issues that you want to discuss, you can call a special meeting and ask to the president, the chair for that. But for me, I think this is good. The schedule is great, and we don't need to change, since they already explained to us what to do. If we need some information or to discuss, we can put onto the agenda. We can tell to the secretary, Eric, and inform that there's some issues or that you want to add onto the agenda and to be discussed to the next meeting.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to comment?
I have my lights still on. I think you look at who's asked for this, it boils down to something that Chair Stewart did that I thought was outstanding, and that was a proper orientation for the new commissioners and board members. She's done an outstanding job of doing that in the past, having little sessions before the meetings. Now, in terms of the Brown Act and how we can do it officially, we'd have to work on that, but I think it could be done. I also feel that in terms of the subcommittee structure, that at another time we need to revisit that would contribute to being cognizant of more of the details and nuances of how each of the subcommittees is working. For the new people, they need that. And I want to commend Alyssa for what she did in the past and suggest that we find a way to do more of that in the future.
Thank you. Is anybody else would like to make a comment? Would you like to? You want to meet every month? Okay. Well, I would prefer that we go ahead and have special meetings when necessary rather than meeting every month. That's just my personal preference. I am in many other organizations, and so I get an opportunity to go to other meetings and see people and that kind of thing. And so I'm not looking for additional meetings myself, but I do really care about this organization and what the aims are and what they try to do, objectives. And so that's why I've been working with them 30 years now. And yes, I wanted to continue, but right now, if we need a special meeting, I'm willing to call it, but I don't think we need to meet every month just because. That's just. We,
So then the direction to staff is where this is,
Hold unless a special meeting is necessary.
all right.
Thank you. Now we are on C, discuss request from the city of Akim Oda, Barum Central Municipality, Ghana. There's the name,
I got it.
Commissioner Stewart.
I got it. Got the map of it. already.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Where is it?
In the center.
The name.
were you saying something?
I'm just saying I pulled up the.
Provide direction on next steps. And so I guess there's a letter that was received and, page 12 of our packet. You'll all turn to it. All right, all right. Our executive secretary will speak to this topic.
In summary, we have a request from a Mr. Castro Asumado Ade, the technical assistant from the Office of the Municipal Chief Executive, Biram Central Municipality, Akim Oda, Ghana. And the request was to develop a sister city relationship. And the city has a population of about 73,000. And my response to them was that, well, I asked if they were members of Sister City International. And then I said I would refer this to our Sister City Commission. So here's where we are today for consideration of a sister city in Ghana.
Once again, I would think our next move would be to make sure we share with them the information that we put together last year in terms of requirements and guidelines for becoming a friendship city first, which is what we do. And then we can hear back from them if they would like to try and fulfill those requirements and guidelines, or whether they feel they've already done that. It's possible that they have, but I would think that that would be a next step for us. Anyone have any other suggestions?
Well, I just make the comment that I think we have too many sister cities and friendship cities at the moment, and it's diluting our ability to concentrate on the ones with which we have the most active contact. I notice, for example, on the subcommittee reports, Commissioner Stewart here has 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 7 sister cities as his responsibility. And it seemed to be
Some of those are mine.
pardon me?
Some of those are mine.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Then my observation is not as accurate as I. But I do have the gut feeling we just have too many at the moment for the number of people we have who are active in dealing with the problems that come up from day to day.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
Chair.
Commissioner Stewart?
Paul and I have had this discussion many times. But going back to what Chair Stewart referred to, that criteria that we developed was the establishment of a committee in both places. And until that happens, you know, we can just wish them well, but I don't think we should take any action until those basics are in place that we've already established.
Thank you. I think we should share with them what the requirements are, since they did make the request. And then we can wait for a return and then go from there.
Chris.
Yes, Commissioner Placido.
Okay, I just would like to know that for this letter that we receive, who will who will do and respond this letter? Is this for the chairman, Elise Stewart, or Eric will be the one to respond this?
Our executive assistant will respond, given what we said here.
Your direction.
Direct.
Yes, Commissioner Andres?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I think we should, the requirement you guys talk about, satisfied our mutual relationship with this, new, requesting, friendship or sister city with us until that further notice. That we can discuss it with them. And, so who are our committee to discuss on this side? Since they're gonna have a committee, right? We're gonna,
Well, that would have to be determined because it doesn't exist at the present time. Unless you and your wife wanted to come up with a committee on this side, then if they decided they wanted to do the same on their end, then maybe a friendship relationship could begin.
yeah, thank you. I'll explore that. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the example that I often refer to is Rhoda, and how that evolved. Our Muju is another example, our first friendship city. And it evolved based on Taekwondo. And the Taekwondo group here and the Taekwondo group there started communicating with each other and built the relationship. If you look at Rhoda, they had like the Tanzania Community Organization, a group of local people here in Northern California. And they networked with their family there and built a committee that was actually meeting. We had minutes of meetings and built a relationship to the point that we made them a friendship city.
Thank you. And so I think we have given instructions as to what needs to happen next with
So
that.
I just want to be clear
Okay?
that we're going to respond with the Friendship City guidelines
Mm-hmm.
and ask them if they can comply.
If they would like to
They
comply
would
with
like
that,
to
yeah.
comply.
Mhm.
And then we would,
And we can say in there that we believe we have a group on this end that will fulfill that part of the
Okay.
requirements.
Yes.
Okay? Thank you so much. And now we move to the individual reports. We'll begin with Trondheim, Commissioner Ligda, and I think you've been working on that.
I have had no luck establishing a relationship with Trondheim, despite I've sent 2 or 3 emails recently, copies of which I sent to you, literally pleading with them to please contact me because I had extended an invitation earlier that we actually bring some students from Trondheim over here this summer, to which they've made no response. Commissioner Lamb did refer me to Martin. I've had 2 conversations with him about establishing a link with Trondheim, and he may get back to me with something coming up, but the new mayor, Kent Ranum is in Trondheim, has just not responded. I really just don't know what to do.
I think you're gonna have to take a trip over there.
I am anxious to do that before you do. And I was in Norway last year, but south of there, I didn't get up there. But anyway, I'm at a loss.
Well, did you try phoning them? I mean, I know that's archaic these days,
Mhm.
but did you try calling, the mayor's office?
I haven't called them by telephone, no. I have email, yeah.
Okay, but try, because yeah, they do. Yeah. So if you're willing, I'd say give them a call and see what happens.
Okay. Maybe I'm asleep when they're awake.
Well, you're up early.
Vice versa.
Yeah. Okay, is that all for Trondheim or Commissioner Stewart?
Yeah, just a couple things. Paul and I spoke about the local people. They actually, the past president of the Sons of Norway came and met with us.
He used to be a commissioner.
Yeah, and they're very interested. Their son's in charge of it now. Son lives in Vacaville, so the local contact isn't as solid. And although they're interested and want their kids to follow up, I forwarded Paul's information to them. I asked them to talk to me, and the son never contacted us. I mentioned the scholarship, well, not scholarship, but the kids coming over for college students, that was something that Paul initiated, and we were excited about it. They weren't. And when I talked to the people because college is free for them there, so wasn't a big deal to them. And I guess Northern California wasn't exciting enough, I guess.
Well,
All right.
historically, we had it all set up before the COVID.
Yes,
I
we
mean,
did.
the students were actually picked.
Yes,
They may even had their tickets.
that is correct.
The government, the national government canceled all that.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and Understandably.
So we know we'll have to, spend time getting that relationship together again, but I think it's worth it. It's our oldest one. And, Paul and I haven't been there to visit yet, and we'd like to.
They're in competition of whoever gets the
Chip there first.
Okay, okay, all right, you heard that here. So let's move on to Baguio City, Philippines.
Actually,
Commissioner
Madam
Funk.
Chair. This, and I know we agreed to sort of fold item 9A into this conversation. The original item, as I understood it, was do we need to do anything as a commission relative to current sister city relationships?
That's what it says.
And a related item is if they are dormant, then should we continue to pursue the relationship?
Okay, my personal feeling is yes. We went through this about, no, more than two. There's more than two. We've gone through it a few times. In fact, one year we even wrote the letter asking, do they want to be, what was the word for it? Can't think of it right now. Dormant, I don't think it's the word, but
To the best of my recollection, Madam Chair, we sent a letter asking to essentially rekindle the relationship. We didn't use the word emeritus, which is what Sister Cities International uses for sister cities that the relationship has kind of died.
but we discussed it many times about 4 or 5 years ago. We discussed it many times. I think it's worth trying to save it because it's our oldest one. I really think it's worth trying to save it. And we know, Commissioner Ligder has been able to get the information for who's in office and what the name of the municipality is and all that. So I think we need to keep trying. It's just my personal feeling about it. You can say what you think.
Yeah, well, as long as I've been on the commission, there's been no activity with Trondheim. There's been no activity with La Spezia.
That's not true. That's
no.
not true.
Trondheim also is not true.
I mean,
Yeah,
what
that's not
has
true.
happened
I-
in the last 2 years?
Well, when you say no activity, maybe we need to ask you what you mean by that.
No talk of delegation visits or visits over there, any other concrete activity, specific activities that relate to our mandate as a commission.
Okay,
So I may have missed some, but
yeah,
what exactly has been happening?
okay. Well, I can talk about La Spezia when it's time. And,
Madam Chair, on Trondheim, I mentioned the discussions that I had with the previous mayor there and their office and the gentleman who was about to retire that's in charge of international relations. And his statement, I made it then, I'll say it again, because he was delegated it to the new guy. He didn't want to have anything to do with it. So it's affirmed, Commissioner Lamb's kind of him really stepping forward. Not only that failed, but I met with the consul general for Norway. They're going on Treasure Island. My company had a facility on Treasure Island. I went and spoke to her. There's a private event that they were at. She promised me they'd be back in contact and never did.
Mhm. So just a quick follow-up. I mean, I think it's, it would be helpful for us to have some sort of guidelines or agreement as to how long these relationships can remain dormant before we make a decision to move on or move them to emeritus status or whatever. Because it seems like, a lot of these conversations just don't go anywhere and we're stuck with dormant sister city relationships we may have other opportunities with other cities that could be, more active. And if we're just wasting our time with committees with sister cities that are not really sister cities, then maybe we need to rethink how we're doing this.
Well, also, as you know, sister city relationships are mayor to mayor. Mayors don't stay in forever. So one mayor say, I'm not interested, the next mayor may say, I am. So we don't wash our hands of it just because one mayor says they're not interested. Years go back quickly. And so we've seen that many times one mayor might not be interested, but the next mayor is very interested. And so I don't think we should give up on it because of that reason. It's just my, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I think we should suspend this relationship until further notice, until we get response, and we should put a time period on that.
Well, what time period would you like?
Well, I mean, that maybe, since it's kind of long distance, writing letters, emails, we should decide. I mean, I feel like maybe in 2 months period, if we don't get response from the other side.
You can make a motion if you'd like to that, and we'll vote on it.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to make a motion that we suspend until further notice relationship
To American states that.
to
Yeah.
a relationship with this.
Under future agenda items, if you want to take that up as a future agenda item, you could, but that is not on the agenda this evening for action.
So is this what you wanted for A? Who asked for A? Did you want that for A?
No, we were discussing regarding the relationship with.
I know, but I'm asking in terms of the agenda item that's here. Is that what someone wanted? I don't know why this is here.
Yeah, that,
In either case, it's not agendized to take action under 9A, and it's definitely not agendized to take action under 10A. So either way, you could not take action this evening to suspend those relationships.
Okay.
You could put it on a future agenda to make a recommendation to suspend those relationships,
Okay.
but that would then thereafter need to go to the council because it is the council who approves the contract of the relationships in the first place.
Okay, then we will add that to the agenda for next time. And did everyone hear what was said, I guess, in the explanation? Did everyone hear that?
yes, she said that we
Okay.
don't have to make a motion at this moment. It could be
Okay,
postponed into the next agenda items.
and that would then have to go to the city council. Okay. All right. So now we're on, did we do Vallejo City?
Baguio City? No, not yet. Okay. I would like to report that the Vallejo Sister City Association delegation attends Panagbinga Flower Festival in Baguio Sister Cities. On February 21, 2026, a delegation from the Vallejo Sister City Association visited Baguio Sister City in the Philippines, our cherished sister city, to participate in the world-renowned Panagbinga Flower Festival. The Vallejo Sister City Association delegation proudly took part in the parade. We walked the entire route until we reached the grandstand, carrying a banner representing the Vallejo Sister City Association. Senator Beldad and Mary Dad joined us in the parade, adding to the excitement and honor of the occasion. This vibrant celebration featured a spectacular parade with pickup trucks beautifully adorned with fresh assorted flowers, traditional dances in colorful, elegant attire brought the local culture to life, creating a joyful and festive atmosphere for everyone. Our delegation had the honor of meeting Mayor Benjamin Magalong and members of the new Baguio City Council members. One of the most touching moments was the motorcade escort that welcomed us from the city entrance of the way to our hotel in Baguio City. A grand and unforgettable gesture of hospitality. We were proud to join fellow delegates from other sister cities, including Akashi, Japan, cities in South Korea, San Antonio, Texas, and more. Baguio City hosted formal welcome dinner for all international guests, showcasing its deep commitment to friendship and goodwill. I just want to let you know, you might be wondering what is Panagbinga Festival for you guys. I just want to let you know that Panagbinga Festival, also known as the Baguio Flower Festival, is a month-long annual event in Baguio City, Philippines. Panagbinga means a season of blooming in the local Kankane language. That's the language in the Philippines in Baguio, symbolizing the city's vibrant flower blooms and resilience. The festival celebrates Baguio flowers culture and the community spirit, and it's recognized by the International Festivals and Event Association. It's a spectacular events during that Panagbinga Festival, as most of the commissioner here right now is commissioner. They also witness the spectacular flower festival in Baguio City, Philippines. And for that, I would like also the Vallejo Sister City Association warmly invites you to our upcoming events, annual international dinner and auction on Saturday, September 27, 2026 at the Filipino Community Center, 611 Amador Street, Vallejo.
26.
Yeah, September
year.
26. This year,
September.
September 27, 2026, this year. We'll be sending out full details and invitations in the coming weeks. We look forward to your support and participation in this special evening of international culture, friendship, and community.
Thank
Through
you.
emails too.
Thank you
Email
very
address.
much. First of all, three of us have been to this festival now.
Oh.
Three of us have participated. Many of you know that there's a trip to the Philippines relatively often because we have quite a number of Filipinos here in Vallejo. And so many of our board members and others attend. But only twice have we had representatives go to this festival. Commissioner Lichter has gone, and of course, Commissioner Placido and I have attended. And it's everything she says it is and more. I'm sure most of us have seen the Flower Festival on TV, Rose Parade. It is very, very much like that. So if you have an opportunity, and if they plan for another February to go, I highly suggest that you attend that trip because it is magnificent. So thank you very much for that report, Commissioner Placido. Okay.
Let's see how my tree's doing.
Jinchun, South Korea, Commissioner Lamb.
No activity report.
It was two B's there. I'm sorry. Bagamoyo, Tanzania. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to mention that we had a meeting last week of our planning committee for our 2026 trip to Tanzania. We had 9 people in attendance, And the next one's scheduled for mid-July as we continue to put more details on the trip. It is going to be centered around, of course, going to the medical center that we put our solar panels in, and the school next to the medical center that we provided computers and books. The side trips that we had included last year a visit to Nairobi, Kenya, and a medical center there where we provided medical supplies. The committee will decide on what others they want to go. Like there's a big discussion about going to West Africa, but at the core of our trip is always going to be our sister city in the Bagamoyo district of Tanzania. There's at least 3 schools, someone was saying there's 4 different schools that we've assisted through the years, but we, for now, I put the primary focus on the one that is right next to the medical center where we put the solar panels in. We'll have more details shortly. The projected number of days is 10 to 12 days, and we'll have more details as we move along. They're in the process of accepting bids from potential travel agents that will put together the package for us. And we're excited about that side of it. The trip will include, as in previous meetings, I've mentioned the importance of us making sure that we visit the U.S. Embassy. So although the capital of Tanzania has moved, it's not in Dar es Salaam anymore. They have, the majority of their activities are still based out of Dar es Salaam. So, and the U.S. Embassy is in Dar es Salaam still. So that's the intent, is to include that. That's the extent of my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I look forward to hearing more about the
Oh,
details.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Norma asked me to mention something that we talked about at this level and forgot to mention to the group, that the theme for the dinner auction this year in September is going to be Japanese. It's going to have a Japanese theme, Madam Chair.
And yes, when she was making that announcement, I was about to say we need to wait until we get to Akashi, but I did not interrupt her. But
Okay.
Akashi is where we need to probably do all of that.
That sounds great.
Okay. We're ready for Commissioner Lam, Jinchon, South Korea.
No activity report relative to Jincheon,
Okay,
South
thank you.
Korea.
Number 5 is La Spezia, Italy. So I guess it was mentioned that it was not remembered that this past year we did have a request, which we often have from people who are members of our group, that we write a letter of introduction and we connect the sister city representatives in our sister city with people here from Vallejo area who are going to attend. And we did do that. They brought a report back. They sent pictures. They met with our representatives. And so we do have connections. It may not be us all the time, but we still are the ones who make the connections for people, and it happens. So that's all I have for La Spezia. Now, Akashi is what needs to tell us about our upcoming Sister City dinner that that's gonna be the highlight. Commissioner Stewart.
We just mentioned that the event's going to take place in September. Most of us have had leadership roles in the dinner auction, so it's going to be no change in that, except that we have record crowds as usual, and we fill the facility. So it's extremely important that we assist where we can. Commissioners are asked to attend and participate. In terms of the follow-up on our visit and the gifts that they gave us, this year they gave us books, and we provided books to the city. We provided it to the school district, and we still have a half a case of books that's supposed to go to the JFK library. And we've been promised at the next library board meeting that we'll be able to make that presentation of the gifts plural that came from Akashi.
Thank you. I'm almost sure that I asked Commissioner Rubio Machado to be our representative now for Ensenada. I thought that was a while back. No? Yes? No? Well, you were here at the time, so it was one of the earlier meetings. So is now an appropriate time?
I would say through the chair, I think that was at Commissioner Rubio Machado's first meeting.
I think it was.
Yes.
I think it was. So would you accept that appointment? Thank you very much.
Madam,
very much.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I recall that during our previous meeting, we assigned, what's the name now? Forgot, Michada, to take that Ensenada,
Yes,
Mexico.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Yes.
Madam Chair, if it's appropriate, I'd like to give a mini report on what's happened.
With Ensenada?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. First, many of you know that our primary contact was part of the previous administration there, and when the administration of that city left, he left, but he was reappointed, and we're anticipating having a solid relationship there. He stays mainly in contact with Ravi, and Ravi, of course, takes great pleasure in following up and giving me the details of how things are progressing there. So I think we're going to have great positive progress.
Well, then
in
we
the
need to
future.
make sure that that connection goes to Commissioner Rubio Machado
Absolutely.
and not to Robbie.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think they're personal friendships. It wasn't as an official thing for us,
Okay.
with the exception of the trip that Heidi made to Northern California. And some of you are aware and participated. She has a book that she published, and we asked her the next time she was here to come to us. We have a little reception for her and a book signing, and we did in the Sister City room. The Open Arms program in Ensenada City was the program that steered us toward this relationship with them, the friendship and now Sister City relationship. And Heidi was here. We purchased a number of books. The association still has some. So if you haven't purchased one, we have one with your name on it. But she was very excited about coming. We talked about ways that we can continue to network, and I'll be glad to forward that information.
Through the chair.
Just 1 second. I would like to make it clear. It took us 7 years to make Ensenada a sister city. We worked on it and worked on it and worked on it and made it happen. It took 7 years. So I just want to make people understand. We don't want to just give this stuff up because it takes a long time to make it happen. So we really want to hold on once we get it. And, you know, when we sat down and thought about it, we didn't realize it was that long, but it was during COVID. And so we had to skip some of those years and do things differently. But there were many trips back and forth to make that happen. And, you know, we were all very, very pleased when the signing took place. I was there. We were very pleased. And so that's another reason why I personally am not willing to give up on any of them, because it takes so long to put them in place when they become an actual sister city. So we are going to officially, okay. Yes, please put it in the minutes. And I guess the information for contact is now with Commissioner Pelton Stewart, but I'm sure he can give you all the information. If not,
Well,
our executive assistant can.
yes, actually, I do have something to add to that.
Okay.
After, well, last Friday, I got an email from the Director of International Affairs, Jared
Mhm.
Gutierrez. And he would like, us to essentially rekindle the relationship. So I was going to,
What do you mean by rekindle? I mean, we have,
those are my words. Essentially, get back in touch and start to do things.
we have a person for him to
Yes.
get in touch with. And whenever they decide they want to set up a trip, they owe us a trip, actually. We've been 3 times. They owe us a trip.
They have a new mayor, Claudia Agaton Muniz.
Okay.
And they would like to, their words, Jared's words, they would like to maintain and strengthen our sister city ties.
Absolutely.
And so Jared proposed a Zoom meeting
Okay.
with me to sort things
Yeah,
out,
we could
and
do
then
that,
we can move things forward from there.
Okay.
So
That would
that's
be
the
great.
positive news.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So make sure. Let me know. You connect. Thank you for that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
while Heidi was here, we sat in the Sister City room and talked about the concept, and Jared was informed of our interest in hosting them. We talked about, because some of you remember that we provided Taekwondo equipment to them.
We did.
That would be nice if we could bring some of those athletes that took the ball, ran with, and continue in that along those lines. And the discussion centered around the difficulty in getting students from there to come to the United States. So much so that we did some preliminary stuff with our contact with our congressman, and they said that when it's appropriate, that they'd be willing to champion the cause for us to get some of those young people. So those discussions have already started.
Well, I
you're talking
appreciate
about
that. I
young
mean,
people where?
I would like to
From
see,
Ensenada, coming
Yeah.
through Vallejo.
but I would like to see some of the officials come if nobody else came, because we didn't take students right away. You know, we sent a delegation of officials to them, and they went through the Friendship City status that if you will notice on many of our, a shirt I had on yesterday, they were still a Friendship City because they went through that stage, that step, and then became an official sister city. So if they can't bring any students, we understand, but we would expect that at least a delegation of, 4 or 5 adults could come. So you can pass that on when you talk.
Yeah, the only issue right now is, all the things that are happening with immigration. I don't want to get to that point, but it's pretty bad. Unless that you are in the front line watching what's happening and following, it's hard to know. And I've seen it, and that might be a little bit of like, hold on, you know?
Well, then maybe when you all have that Zoom. meeting,
Yes, I would
we
love
can-
to be
we
part of
can,
that Zoom meeting.
Let you know because, yes, that you'll
Okay,
talk about it.
Perfect.
I just, would it be too late in this fiscal year to extend an invitation down to a couple of students from Ensenada? We have a budget for it, don't we? And it's not that.
I would think the
expensive.
Zoom meeting
Sure,
would
we could get a house.
discuss that. Commissioner Ligda,
Pardon
I
me?
would think the Zoom meeting that they're talking about would discuss that.
Okay.
Okay,
Good idea.
great, great. That's good information. So we're down to Friendship City Subcommittee reports. New information updates only. So of the 6 that are here, we know for sure that Rhoda. What about Haiti? Does Haiti have an update?
This. Sorry. No, I don't have any report, but the situation continued to deteriorate in terms of
Okay.
relationship with Asia.
Have you had a chance to communicate with the Lusants yet?
I called and left a message, but with his wife, but he hasn't returned it.
Okay, because they're on social media almost every day. So, I mean, they're available. And I think I ran into her and mentioned to her that you would be contacting her.
I did.
Because they keep in touch all the time with what's going on there. And so they could give you information as to, something we need to do to help or anything like that, but that would be for you to bring back to us.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And Rota, Commissioner Stewart.
We spoke about the concept of having a conference call or a Zoom meeting with the new mayor. We talked to the mayor's administrative assistant, and she asked, I suggested it'd be the two chairs, and I'm glad to help a little. And they want us to come up with a couple of days that works for us, and she will present them to the mayor. And that's all I have, Madam Chair.
So is this still the person that we
No.
met, a new person?
Yes. a new person.
Okay, a new person. All right. Thank you.
Senator Santos is still a senator, but she's not.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Nothing for Zanzibar. Seven Generations. Must be something for them, Commissioner Lamb.
No, nothing to report.
Are you in touch with any of them?
I try to be in touch unsuccessfully.
It's kind of falling apart.
Okay. And then Karoom, Afghanistan, Commissioner Placido.
No report at this time.
Okay.
I
thank you.
have, I
No
have
report at this time, but Pelton will say about it.
just one little thing that Norma and I talked and coordinated the concept of hosting a group of young people, the refugees that came from Afghanistan, that we brought all the supplies and had it in the city room and gave it to them. They talked to us about the concept of bringing some of those kids to Discovery Kingdom because they don't get a chance to do any of that kind of stuff that our kids take for granted. We spoke to, through Mike Brown, we spoke to the people at Discovery Kingdom. They agreed to do a VIP before the park opens special tour for 10 to 12 kids and their parents. I'm not exaggerating. It's been almost a year.
That's what I thought.
And so the holdup, I want to keep putting it on there because we're doing our part and they're waiting for us. They've agreed to host us, but he hasn't identified the people there yet that feel comfortable enough to come and do that. So that's all I have.
Through the chair,
Oh, yes.
visit Vallejo. Mike Brown has since
Retired.
left. Yeah, he's retired.
Mhm.
So they have a new person in charge. His name is Kirk Smith.
Mhm.
So what Mike Brown did is he put us in contact with the administration at Discovery Kingdom. We talked to them, they said yes. And then there was a change in the leadership there at Discovery Kingdom. So we tried to reinforce it with them and they said yes. So all our people on our end are lined up.
Well, we can't make them come. But I appreciate you trying, and it is a nice opportunity for them. So we'll have to wait and see. And it has been about a year since I first heard that. Okay. Number 11.
Madam
Next,
Chair,
Yes.
sorry, we skipped over Muju, South Korea, but there is nothing to report there. Just want to make sure we covered all
Okay.
the bases.
All right, thank you. Number 11, next meeting date, scheduled for Monday, August 18th, 2025 at 5:30. If something comes up,
Madam,
how
say, Madam
about that?
Chair.
If something comes up and we have a real need for a special meeting, then I'm sure that our executive assistant will contact us.
Well, the thing that has come up is I found out last week, I'm not going to be here on Monday, August 18th.
Oh, okay,
So,
that'll take care of that.
yeah, that does take care of that. So we will most likely be having a special meeting or no meeting at all, but it looks like there are things that we want to discuss, so I think it's going to be a special meeting. I can go back and provide you with some dates. I have to find a place for us to land, and I'll send something out.
Okay, so, would we be allowed to have a special meeting in the city room if necessary?
If we noticed it, I would think so.
I think you can have a meeting in any available meeting space, but if we're doing Zoom, which we are for all of our meetings, that's more a question for IT than it is for us, because I don't know if they can set it up in there.
Yes, they can.
Can I? Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
is it possible I could list some coming events that you want to make the commission aware of? Is this the appropriate time?
I would say, wait until we adjourn the meeting. I have a few myself.
Okay,
Is that appropriate? Okay, so, the meeting will not be August 18th, but you will be contacted, with some suggested dates. Please respond when you get the email. And, then we'll have a special meeting. Okay. So should I adjourn the meeting? Oh, I can't. It's not on here. Okay. All right, so we are including future agenda items with announcements. So go ahead, Commissioner Stewart.
first, want to make sure that everyone's aware that when we have events like the fair and other things where we bring things out of the Sister City room, we have to bring them back and put them away. And in the past, we had Robbie and younger me and folks that could assist in doing that and maintain. Yeah, Mark Ruth. We need volunteers to assist in a cleanup that we're going to be doing of the Sister City room on Saturday, June 28th from 1 to 2:30. On Saturday, June 21st is our Juneteenth event. And the Sister City Association.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
It's not on, I'm sorry. Repeat the whole thing again. I'll run through it quickly. So the cleanup of the Sister City room is going to be on Saturday, June 28th from 1 to 2:30. Anybody can come over and assist. We're going to change the decorations or the items that are on display in each category, in each area. There's this area set up for each of our sister and friendship cities. We're going to change the decorations in there. We have lots of artifacts that we can switch things around. So it'll make the room look different. We're planning the trip to Africa's next planning meeting is on Saturday, July 26th. Anyone that's interested, it's noon to 2 p.m. in the Sister City room. On June 21st is the Juneteenth event. We're going to have a booth there, and we're asking anyone that can come and volunteer that anytime during that day. And of course, the 4th of July parade. For those of you who have never participated in that, we meet and march using our banner down the streets. A lot of us wear the Sister City, t-shirts or jackets, and some people wear ethnic clothing. But it is a fun event if you haven't done it. And Grandmaster Kim and the Taekwondo athletes there put on a big party, all you can eat food for everybody. And you get to see all their black belts get blasted with water balloons by the students. So tons of kids come to do that. That's on the 4th of July. We're asking for people to consider assisting us with the event we're going to have where we're honoring, this is the Sister City Association, is honoring young people who have volunteered with us over the years. It's the Day in the Park tree dedication event. We don't have a tree this year, but we don't have anyone who's qualified for a tree this year. So we're gonna have a Day in the Park and we're honoring young people. The GVRG Junior Guards, the Rotary Club Interact, William Kim's Taekwondo athletes, the Lions Club, the AK Debutantes, the Omega Gents, Victoria's group that she works with, the Vallejo City Unified School District, the Sister School Group, the Cub Scouts that helped us, the Maritime Academy cadets. And the reason I read down the list is if we've missed any young people group that have assisted us over the years, let us know because we want to honor them at that Day in the Park. We'll be serving hot dogs and punch and sodas, and not a big expensive item, but it's a way that we can give recognition to young people. And the date is to be announced. It'll be after school has started.
After
That's-
school starts, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great. Okay, because I was worried about the cadets that they wouldn't be here. Wonderful. Date to be, let us know as soon as you can.
Okay.
All right, any others?
And if it's appropriate, Eric, I told you I had a written copy of this. I'll get you, can you go out with the minutes? Thank you, sir.
And did you talk about Pista Sanayan in your report for the Philippines?
Bless you.
Okay.
Did you already? I
No,
couldn't,
I did not. I did not.
well, it was held, it was nice, so you need to report it.
We have this Vallejo Pista Sanayo.
Microphone.
Because I was in San Diego. So, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not hearing her.
Mhm.
okay, I think, yeah. So the Pista Sanayon, yes, the Vallejo Pista Sanayon was very successful. There were so many guests that came in. It's around, according to our, there's a name for that, and it's almost 20,000, the one that the click click thing. Yeah, it's almost 20,000 people came. It's in and out since the morning up to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We had so many performers and of course vendors. We have about 30 vendors, food vendors and others, in grand total of that but I'm very sorry to inform that the Vallejo Sister City Association, we was not able to get a booth for over there because they just missed our application, and when they found it, it's already full and they don't know what to do. So they decided that we have to participate still at the parade and to be with them. They did not really, we are not disqualified or no or anything, but then they accepted us as part of the Pista Sanayon. And again, I was not there to witness what's going on out there. But according to the chair, it was a very successful event.
It was. It was very.
It was.
lovely.
You was there.
I was
Yeah.
there. It's very lovely. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Not hearing microphone.
Say again, ma'am?
You say something.
Yeah, you guys were speaking and I couldn't hear you.
Alyssa? Adjourn us again?
Meeting adjourned at 7:23.